Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for first of all, thanks for attending this webinar. For those that are attending, we did a very similar webinar last month, but due to popular demand and people asking us to go through again, and for those that could not attend, we are doing another one. So you get to listen to me for another hour. So I think 1 month has passed and a few things have also happened in terms of our product and our development. So I also can update you on that, which is going to be a great opportunity to share with you some new things. Without further ado, I would just like to give a quick intro on Stake. But again, thanks for all those that are here attending. Let me share my screen. Okay, so this webinar is called Walking You Through because it's mainly focused on demonstrating our product and how good it is, and to also be able to demonstrate to you what are all the functionalities and feature sets we have and ability we have. Before I go into too much about the walkthrough, let me talk a bit about me and my co-founders. So my name is Ricardo. I'm the Chief Technology Officer of Stake. I joined Stake at the founding stage when already Rami and Manar, my two co-founders, already bootstrapped the business. My background is building basically early stage to late stage companies. I've been building digital products for over 17 years. I did most of my career in UK, I must say. And back in UK, my last 5 years have been about creating the largest private equity investment platform in Europe called Cedars, where I led the product and technology team there. And I was very passionate about solving the same set of problems for a different asset class, which is real estate. And when I heard what Rami and Manar were up to, it was very, very interesting for me. So I jumped immediately on board. I have a passion about creating simple experiences that can disrupt, let's say, existing industries. I'll leave you here my contacts at the end of the presentation. If you have any questions to me or to anyone in the team, my email box is always open to listen to our customers. If we can go to what is Stake and what are we trying to do, Stake is focusing in providing access to an asset class that has typically been accessed via other means. That asset class is real estate. That asset class, we are particularly passionate about the asset class because it has really certain characteristics that are quite unique. Again, some of them are about like how it hedges against inflation, as we have seen in recent times. Inflation is on the rise, and how this asset class continues to perform even in those scenarios. It is an instrument and is historical instrument to earn passive income, and it appreciates in value over time. So that is some of the key characteristics. But again, to access the asset class, typically that's reserved for people that can afford to buy a whole property. And where we position ourselves is about solving that problem. How can we get that accessibility and transparency closer to the end user? How can we make it through a digital way? So it's that easy. I mean, these days people are used to order taxi rides, delivery apps, but also investing should be no different, and investing this asset class should be no different. We at the end of the day, this is all about also providing the right returns for users. And we are in this mission to provide that to our end users and not to get them, I guess, stuck in that asset class. How do we do that? We want to do it in a digital way. That means very simple, easy to access, fast transacting, pretty much like you were to do if you were to use an e-commerce platform to buy. The fractional element is very important to us because this is probably one of the biggest barriers to entry the asset class before our platform. The affordability of the entry point, which means the affordability to get into the asset class from the beginning, it can completely be changed if you could invest from, let's call it 500 dirhams or $100 in the asset class. And also this allows, if you are investing smaller amounts, that allows users to invest in multiple properties, diversifying their risk. We see users investing typically from an average ticket size from 10,000 dirhams all the way to hundreds of thousands of dirhams in our platform. Best selection, because we do have the best team and the best experts in our markets. Our management team, in particular, Rami, one of our co-founders, has 16 years of experience in Dubai real estate alone. We do have other members of the team that have added to that experience. So we do pre-vet, negotiate, and curate all our deals that go into the platform to ensure that our customers have the best return on investment at the end of the day. We like to be rigorous and present the info in a fair way, where the user understands very easily how much they will, for example, earn in monthly income and how much is expected to appreciate over time. One big component of what we are set out to do is to bring liquidity to the asset class. This means ability to liquidate the assets if the users wish to in certain periods. And we can talk more about that given we're gonna be doing a secondary market, and I'm more than happy to talk about that. So in terms of technology, we are in a way a prop fintech business or prop tech business. We started back about 18 months ago, launching our website. We saw some good traction on the website. We had a huge demand to build a mobile app. That has been also probably my team's mission, first and foremost, to bring this to your fingers, to the point of your fingers. So this year, around March, we launched one of the first apps that make real estate accessible in the MENA region. And we are very proud of what we've built so far, and I think there's more to come. But we do believe that this provides a very transparent and easy way to access the asset class, as well as being transparent across how much is your portfolio valued at any point in time, and how easy it is to access new properties as they come along. Hassle-free is a common theme here, as you see. As we grow our product lines, we really want to keep the platform as simple as possible, so you understand everything that is involved. A big goal we have is to deliver liquidity. This is not only by, of course, deciding and putting to a vote when and how to exit a property if we have a good offer, but also providing a facility, a digital facility for you to exit your properties when the time comes, when the time is right. For those that have attended last month, as you know, we've been slowly modifying. One thing that I want to present this time is we have a new set of brand guidelines. We believe that approach is in a much more progressive and modern way what we want to reflect about being a fractional real estate platform. We have been updating our website and emails and communication slowly, but that experience will come more above the line, and you can see that when I show you the app. I hope you enjoy the demo that I'm going to make, and if you have any questions, please, I will be answering them at the end. Let me just do the demo, and then I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. So let me just exit here, and I'm going to share my mobile screen. Yeah, we're going to go from there. So the first thing I would like to show you here is our Stack app. If I was to open again, just so you can see the splash screen and coming up. So the Stack app is very, at the moment, our positioning is very centric to UAE, as you know. We will want to expand into different regions, and I can talk more about that in terms of roadmap. But at the moment, we are positioning ourselves in Dubai, and we are providing access to offers in Dubai. But rest assured that this is not where we rest. We have a lot of plans to still this year release properties in other regions. Perhaps UK is one region that we are looking at, but also as international expansion goes, we are looking into Egypt and Saudi Arabia as areas of expansion to our business. I'm going to go quickly into the sign-up experience. Again, this is a demo app, so I will then switch to a production app, which is the app that is on the App Store, to show you other details. So in terms of creating an account, it's very easy. The user can get started. The first thing we ask the user is to provide a phone number, where we verify via OTP the phone number. So I'm going to put my UK number, which is the phone that I'm using, and very quickly I get an OTP. And at this point, my phone is verified. The next step will be to put my basic details, which will be my name and an email address. I'm going to use a fake email address here just for the purpose of, oops, someone is calling me, for the purpose of this demo. And after this step, I should be able to verify my email address. So I'm going to go to my Gmail here, and I expect to see an email verification email. There you go. And on this email, I can verify my email and very easily continue my journey. So at this stage, I will create my password. And this is the password that I will use to log in all the time. On mobile in particular, you don't need to log in. You don't see the password because this is protected when you share the screen. But believe me, I'm typing a password. When you type in your password, in particular in mobile apps, we keep your session logged in. And you can, of course, log out of the mobile app and log back in, but because we do have authentication via Face ID, we do believe that keeping you logged in for longer is a good strategy. And if we log in again, we're going to ask for your OTP. So typically people keep logged in for a long time, like how you see on like social network apps and things like that. We then go in and ask you a set of questions to characterize your profile. Just so you know, we have a tier program. So we have 3 tiers. We have what tier that is called Stack Intro. We have a tier called Stack Plus and Stack Elite. And the tier depends on how much you invest in 12 months. Depending on that level of investment, you will have different benefits. Some of them are really good benefits for you. So as an intro, you get access to basic member events and market updates. And you get 250 dirhams per referral. But as you go deeper into the tiers, for example, from 25,000 plus, and the user does not need to invest this in one go, it's over a period. You do get in every single investment 1.5% cash back into your wallet, which I can show. And you get a different level of referral amount. You get a dedicated account manager. And you do get access to other deals that we want to put on the table earlier. An elite is the ultimate tier. an elite gets double of the cashback, and the plus gets a 3% cashback, which is very, very generous cashback, gets a different level of referral, and again has access to everything, and also has a welcome gift pack signed by us, by the founders, where that goes directly to your home. Again, for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to classify myself as a plus. And this gives us an indication of how we can tailor the offering to you. One thing that we do that I need to remind everyone is we are a regulated business by the Dubai Financial Services Authority. So we do need to comply with some regulations. And this is to actually ensure that the rights of our investors are protected. And we operate in a fair and a consistent way to protect those rights. As part of those regulations, we do require some steps to onboard, but we typically only require this once in the lifetime of the user, or unless like some document has expired, for the sake of argument. So in this case, I'm going to say that I'm employed. I'm going to say that I'm employed by Stake, and I'm going to just keep this short, DFSA, and I'm a CTO. And my industry is finance, and my wealth source is savings from employment earnings. So this data, very easy to fill. And as we go in, we now have another step. So we have an identity verification step. This is to ensure that you say who you say you are. And this is to protect, again, our customers, and also to protect the business overall. So users can use different means to verify their identity. At the moment, I'm going to use my passport. So you're going to see a picture of my passport. And after that, I'm going to do a liveness or selfie test. So we have technology to match that the picture on the passport is matching the picture that I'm taking of my face, and also that the passport is valid and within the expiry date, and it's genuine. You can choose to upload a document, or you can choose to use your camera. I'm going to use a camera, just makes the demo a bit more interesting. Here, I'm going to choose my passport. You can also upload the driving license, a national ID card, or a resident permit. We do need you to upload the passport at some point, especially when we close an investment. So my recommendation, if you haven't signed up for an account, is do use a passport because it makes the whole process a lot smoother. So I'm going to use my passport, and I'm going to try to take a picture now. Okay, so that's the picture. So this picture is not checked in terms of quality. It actually has a bit of glare. Let's see if this goes through. Apologies. And then I'm going to take a selfie. Here I am. And with these two pieces of information, we're gonna live check this ID card. In particular, not ID card, the passport. And the user will be immediately verified. Great. And the only other piece of information we have, and actually this is new since the last demo, is we need to verify your address. We have different ways to verify the address. If you are a resident in UAE, we incentivize you to use a facility we have that allows you to connect your UAE bank account with Stake. And what we do is we read directly from your bank the address you have. So this avoids you to having to upload, let's say, bills or other documents that we allow. This is, again, a demo app, so I'm going to just go a bit into the experience, but I'm going to go back and upload. So if I were to click if I click this UAE bank account mode, we use another company called Lean. They are actually an open banking provider in UAE. And the big advantage of using this and connecting your account is that you can immediately get that address verification done. Lean is also regulated by the DFSA, and they are ISO 27001 certified in terms of security. And later on, what we plan to do is also use Lean to facilitate bank transfers into the stake platform. So if I was to select my UA bank account, again, don't mind this screen because this is just an example screen. But what you see when you do use this in the real app is you see all the logos of all the banks we support. And if you do see a bank that you have an account with, we incentivize you to use that bank to verify your ID. I'm going to go back here and just to do the normal method, which is also an excellent method. We're going to ask you a set of questions. This is just to determine which document do you need to upload. I'm going to select a very simple one, which is I'm on a home and I can use a utilities bill, for example. And I'm going to upload a file that I have here, which is, I think it's a Vodafone contract. And we ask you to do a final check. And what's happening behind the scenes is we are uploading that file to our system. And then one of our team will review that file and get your account approved. With this, you are pretty much onboarded. Like, we just need to accept terms and conditions, which I incentivize you to read because it has all our details. You can also read it later. But if you, by accepting these terms, you are basically onboarded into the platform. You have a valid profile. Please see that we have a note saying that you are still verifying your ID, but you can, with this profile like that, you can browse all the properties we have, and you will need to get the proof of address approved to do that, but everything is there. As you can see, we have available properties, we have sold properties in a filter. We have a portfolio that is pretty much empty, so it's not very interesting. And I also have an empty wallet, so not very interesting because I just signed up. But the things that I would like to switch to my real application and show you my account. So how these things shape over time and how do you see your returns coming in and what facilities do you have. So if you don't mind, I'm going to switch to the other app, and then we can go from there. So think about the questions you might have about our product, and I'm more than happy to answer them at the end. So actually, I'm going to download the app directly from the App Store. So if you're in the App Store, and if you need to find us, you need to search by stake property. That will get directly to us, but you might get also, depending on the region, access to stake. As you can see, we are very well rated. I'm going to download this app, and this will be our latest version of the app. So as I open the production app, so we have a few things that are mandatory in particular. I'm demonstrating the app in iOS that has to do with tracking activity. So I'm going to allow, and I'm going to try to log in with my account, which I have stored here. As you can see here, we ask two things when you log in for the first time. We ask if you can use your Face ID, which I will allow, and we ask if you can send you notifications. So those are settings, you can enable or disable them, but the Face ID, again, to recap, is to allow to protect you and the fact that you are logged in for a long time. So we do validate with your Face ID if you are who you are. And the push notifications, at the moment we are sending push notifications when dividends are paid, but also when you launch new properties or when we have significant progress on existing properties. But we will probably, without being too spammy, let's call it, we want to notify what are the important things that you need to be aware when utilizing our platform. If we can start by maybe the profile, you can see I have a profile now that it feels a bit more filled. So I have invested 2020 dirhams. I have some kind of level of bonuses that was attributed to me. And you can see that I have access to other tiers. In particular, I can upgrade my tier if I invest another 22,980. Of course, this is a demo account. This is just so you know how it works. and you can see where you are in your tier at any point in time. Just more about this screen. We have a direct help and support. As you can see, if I click help and support, we see some of the team members here with their beautiful faces. You can send us a message directly. We do reply to every single message that comes in. When we are within office hours, we typically reply to this very quickly. When we are outside of office hours, it might take a bit longer, but we always reply typically, as you can see, under 3 hours. So if you have any questions about anything whilst using the application, you can always do that. More things. On the settings, at the moment, the whole app is prepared to handle Arabic. So if I do change to Arabic, although that I'm not an Arabic speaker, I see the whole app in Arabic. The whole app restarts, as you can see, and it will have a right to left layout, and it's all translated to Arabic. That has been one of our key focus. To be successful in the region, we need to provide a great Arabic experience, and we are still doing steps in that direction, but the app is very much ready to Arabic. I'm going to change to English, getting there, given I'm an English speaker. And I would know how to navigate the app as such. So still in the settings, we also allow users to change between these 5 currencies. Again, just a note here, our properties are purchased in AED, but users can go into different currencies. I'm going to try to speed up. Again, settings about you logging out, notifications, vibration in the app. Okay, so that's settings done. Rewards. We do have a very generous rewards program. You can invite your friends directly from the app. It's super easy. There's a referral program where we incentivize both you and your friends. So we give you credits to use on the app if they do onboard, if they do complete onboarding, so your friends get immediate 250 dirhams to invest. You can copy your referral link as such, or you can actually invite friends via your WhatsApp, for example. If you have a WhatsApp group with your friends, that is a great way. And when you click that, we pre-format the message and the link, so you don't need to do a lot of work. So I do want to incentivize you to share, spread the message. And I think both you and your friends can reward from it. So if we now go back to properties very quickly, we do have properties available to fund. So at the moment we have 2 properties available. I think there's another property coming up tomorrow, so watch this. Because it's new, it's a holiday home, it's a new product, so I think I can unveil this, so get you get you curious about coming back tomorrow. But the way we've designed the experience is we are trying to bring the experience as clear as we can. So as we go into the property details, you have a lot of detail about the particular property. First of all, you have all the photos of the property that are available, so you can see not only the exterior, but interior of the property and its characteristics. We offer a virtual tour for every single property we list. This allows you to really navigate on the property like if you were there. I find this always very cool to understand how the property is laid out and what's the current state of the property. As you can see, it's very easy to navigate and gives you a fair assessment on the investment opportunity. Of course, we have a target to fund this property. We have very important financial details such as projected return, gross yield, net yield. We also know how many people are already, let's say, invested in the property or backed this property. And as we go down, we actually recently released this nice summary that summarizes what are the key characteristics of the property. For example, if I go to the other property, sorry to jump a bit, and maybe let's analyze this one here. For example, this property here has a 2-year rental guarantee, which is a very important consideration when investing in a property. Of course, not all the properties have that. Whenever we secure that period, it's good for the investor to know and to understand that. We have an investor calculator that can forecast what would be given an initial investment and given an expected property value growth, can forecast your return and can also forecast your monthly rental income, which is great given the yields, and you can see how your capital will evolve. We have put here in a 5-year holding period, but we do want to possibly exit properties sooner. If we see an opportunity to do so, we will put that to a vote. Or if we, like we said, we have this secondary facility. The property overview, it's a long description on the property, so you can read it clearly. It has a lot of details about the property and the neighborhood and the occupancy rate, so you can see more about the property. And again, we summarize all the financial details here, the property price, the transaction costs, what is the investment cost overall, but also what's the projected exit value, what's the expected ROI, and what's the annualized ROI for you. And also we detail everything that has to do with the rental income, given all our properties at the moment are rented. So we will, we want to show you that as clearly as possible. And I think this has a lot of detail for you to dig. Because we listened to our users, one of the most asked features was, can you give me an idea what's the funding timeline? So if I invest today, what happens next? And that was not very clear before. Now we are giving you a timeline that is, let's say, a pessimistic timeline in terms of time. This timeline, first of all, outlines when is the last date we can close the property, and in that scenario, how we would form the special purpose vehicle that acquires the property, and also the title deed that is distributed to you. So this property has a first rental payment on 27th of October, but if the property closes sooner, as you can see, you can expect the rental payment will be done as soon as we can, as soon as the title deed is done. Sorry, my screen went blank. Sorry. Okay, so we have also location. We also have a location, where is the property, and we have a description about the location, and we also have a list of amenities that the property has. And most importantly, we have a lot of documentation, including an independent valuation report. Our operations team prepares an investment memorandum to all the properties, which is a nice PDF that has a way more details. So if you want to explore that, and we also have projections. Very easily, if you want to have access to one of our property experts that can help you, we have one of our team members here, Amar, but you can message us directly. This will open WhatsApp, and this will very quickly open WhatsApp, so you can ask more information about this property, or if you have any questions about stake at all, like we have a team ready to answer those questions. This is it in terms of property details. As you can see, we have this metaphor with perhaps a checkout experience. So you can add to cart. I'm going to add to cart 10,000 dirhams. And by adding to cart like that, I have an idea how much cash flow or dividends I get paid per month and what's my expected appreciation. I can change this by increasing 10,000 by steps of 1,000, or I can just input. Users can actually add more properties to their carts, and they can have their cart easily accessible on the right-hand side corner. I'm not going to check out, but given this is a live demo, but as you can see, you have different options to check out. You can use your wallet balance if there's enough balance. If you don't have enough balance, you can either top up beforehand, or you can actually use one of your debit cards to fund the investment. You can also use a wire transfer to fund the property, and when doing so, you can you get the details to make a bank transfer, and that will be automatically performed when the money arrives. So that's the investment journey. It's super easy. It's 2 clicks. You select how much you want to invest. You select your payment method, and your investment is done. All you need to do is wait for the property to be closed. If I can go quickly to wallets, this is where you see your balance. This is where you see all your transactions. As you can see, because I'm a shareholder of a property, I've been receiving monthly dividends of 7 dirhams 90. And you can see your payment methods, and you can see your wire transfers. I'm going to rush just to finish the demo. Your portfolio value, it's a transparent way to see how much your stakes are worth. You can see your monthly cash flow. You can see your realized earnings, which is money that you already received. You can see your annualized rental yield. You can see the stakes that you have live and what's their latest valuation and how they evolved over time. For example, this one that I've invested here has evolved in value over time from 604,000 to 675. You can also see your portfolio breakdown, and we have big plans for portfolio to give you more tools and more ways to see it in different angles. But I think this explains pretty much the portfolio. The small jumps on my graph are dividend payments. The big jump is a valuation report that came in and valued my property higher than what I purchased it for. So you can have all that accessible in a single view, no matter how many properties you have in stake. I think this finishes the demo. I think I gave you a good overview over the capability. We are trying to do exactly the same capability on the web. So I'm going to just quickly exit my screen sharing on mobile here, and I'm going to go into the roadmap, which is what's to come. Just talking a bit about roadmap, it's been a really exciting year for us here. We are super excited with what we've done so far and how many people we gave access to this asset class, and we're going to continue to do so. As I told you, perhaps what we've been focusing is a lot on our core, because we are trying to enable people to access this asset class via our website and via our mobile apps. A big part behind the scenes that users normally don't see is how much work is involved in actually providing all these opportunities to you in a fair, clear, and not misleading way, providing all this information to you, getting the best deals. So we have an amazing ops and real estate team that provides those best deals to you. And that is all surfaced via a product that is very simple to use, that you can use from the comfort of your sofa at home. What's to come? This year, we want to experiment a product called Equity Release. This probably requires maybe another webinar, but what we want to do is to provide sellers that have existing properties to release equity by making that equity available to invest via the stake platform. We believe this is a great way to bring the best deals to our users, and also to provide the liquidity mechanic to existing sellers that don't have that liquidity. A big part of our mission and also vision is to provide liquidity to the asset class. As I said, my background actually has been building I have experience building in secondary markets in illiquid asset classes. This is often not easy. This is not only about the tech challenge, but also about the compliance and legal challenges around it. But we are very excited with starting working on it this year to possibly deliver it by Q1 2023. But this is also depending on us influencing the key players in the market, to key players that we interact with, like the regulators and the land department, to also operate in a more digitized way. And it's not mentioned here, but we are very excited with our international expansion. As I mentioned, Egypt and Saudi Arabia is where we want to go. And please keep your eyes peeled, because we expect to do big steps in that direction in the coming months. And I haven't really represented this roadmap because it almost requires a separate roadmap on top of this one to execute the strategy on each market. But we are very bullish and excited by bringing not only the same proposition to those markets, but also bringing the current user base opportunities in those markets if we can. There's probably more to be said, but we're going to continue thriving and trying to provide the best experience to all of you. Just to wrap up the session, because we are getting, just looking at my phone, so we have a bit of time. I think doing a webinar is also about, not only about transmitting information, but is also about hearing feedback and hearing what you want to see us evolving, what are we missing, what do you want to see more or less of. And I think it's a great way to establish dialogue with our users, to listen to questions and to be able to answer them in this format. So maybe I can inspire you with some questions. I think what we always ask our users is what features are we missing and what are we technically missing on our app, not only on our platform. We already know, for example, secondary market is a constant feedback we have. We are working on it. What is the feature that you really love? And so maybe we can still, let's say, provide more emphasis into it. What could make your life easier? Sometimes it's simple things that we don't see, but because you use our platform often, we want to know about them. And where is our bottleneck, if any? We'd love to hear more. So I know that there are some Q&A questions about it, so I'll try to tackle as many as we can. But if I have not answered the question, please email me in ricardo@getstake.com. Okay, but let's jump into the questions if I can, and try to answer some of them. So the first question is, everyone asks, is this going to be recorded, this webinar? Yes, the plan is to record the webinar, and we have recorded if everything goes well. And we're going to make that webinar available so you can see the interaction with the whole website without having to attend again. Great. So I'll tackle some questions. Okay, great. So some users say that the credit card does not work well on the mobile app due to tokenization, as it is safe, but works well on the web app. Okay. So first of all, we typically don't allow credit cards, only for professional investors. So we do allow debit cards. I would love to actually look into this particular situation myself, but they should. We tokenize. You're right, on the mobile app. We tokenize the card, which means we save the card in a secure way, and then we utilize the card. If that's actually not working, me and my technical team will actually definitely look into this case. So I'm going to take a note of this. Mudassar, I'm going to take a note of this and look at this. The other question you have is about shares. We will provide a marketplace to buy and sell shares. Again, just so you guys know, real estate is a long-term investment, and to give, let's say, justice to the asset class, as you know, we don't do revaluations every single day, and the market is not that volatile in real estate. It's a long-term investment. So this is why we think users should hold the investment for at least 1 year. We do incentivize that to get the better returns. We recommend the period up to 5 years. But don't forget, we do get returns on the monthly basis as well. And we are trying to provide the best and the most transparent way to provide you a fair assessment of how much are your shares worth, given the valuations we do on every 6 months. So again, Mudassar, please keep an eye on our emails and our communications as we develop the secondary market further. We will be able to communicate when it's coming and how it builds up and how you can have access to it. Yeah, so the question about trust, it's a good question. So first of all, as we know, we are regulated, a highly regulated business, I would say. We are experts in our fields. We do have a very solid team. Every single, like Manar mentioned here, every single asset is actually held in standalone SPVs, so they are kind of detached from stake as a business. So for any reason, if we were to fail as a startup, your assets are still secure because they are totally segregated from our normal corporate operations. The same with client funds. So all your funds are separated and they're classified as, between quotes, client money, and they are ring fenced from our money. And we are very. There's a lot of scrutiny in how we manage that money through auditors and through the regulators. So, and that, by the way, that happens in all typically fintech startups that are regulated. Yeah, so there's a question about gross margins and net margins. Again, I'm not the best person, but the way to explain this is we have costs to operate to operate and to rent the property. Those costs are actually quite well detailed in the projections and on the IM. And the net is really what you receive. And we do reserve funds to things like service charges, DOS setup, any maintenance that we need to perform on the property. And this is actually explains the difference between, most of the times, between gross and net. And you do need to look out for that and to inform yourself and to make the best assessment. We provide as much information as we can. But if you feel that the information is not there, again, reach out to one of our sales representatives, our property experts, and they will be able to clear out anything that you have a question about. Again, I see that there was already my team member, Burhan. Burhan, thanks for answering the questions. I'm going to skip that. Yeah, so how do we make money? I think it's a great question. Again, we have fees. To operate, but hopefully that those fees, it's how we have a business model to bring the best deals to you. But what we are providing is a service to you, and we are providing some protections to you and access as well. So we have 1.5% at time of acquisition, and we have 0.5% annually, and we also have a fee to exit. But we do transmit this in a very clear way on the platform. Is tech only meant to Middle East investors? Absolutely not. So our regulation in Dubai is very actually permissive. We allow pretty much everyone in the world to invest. We have to keep a list of high risk countries and high risk profiles. We have AML technology, and we monitor our investors in that respect. But broadly speaking, anyone from Japan to Portugal to UK can invest in the platform. And this is one of the things that we are really excited is we are trying to build a global platform to access real estate. We've been focusing in the real estate in the Middle East, but in terms of access, there's nothing limiting someone from Europe to Africa to Asia to invest in the platform. So yeah, the referral program, it's explained by Finfini as my head of product. So we have launched and reheld our referral program. The referral program have different levels depending on the tier level. So what I would say is, if you already have an account with us, check your tier under your profile. But in basic terms, if you have invested 25K or more per year, you do have access to this 500 referral tier. If you do invest into 100K or more, you do have access to this 750 referral per referral. And your friend always gets 250 to start, I guess, the journey with us. Yes, this is my original passport. I am compromising my privacy, I know. But on the recording, I will probably obfuscate my passport and trust that you guys don't use my password in the bad way. Thanks for the heads up. this is the problem about doing live demos. Yeah, again, international customer can invest. Again, just I guess a separate comment as we approach the end. Our app is at the moment available in all the app stores across the different, both in Google Play and in iOS in the App Store. So it's available worldwide. As you know, we've been focused mainly, for example, in terms of languages, we've been mainly focused in English and Arabic. In terms of currencies, we have 5 currencies we believe are our top 5 currencies. But again, don't forget, we are still transacting in dirhams. We are still providing access to properties in UAE. And therefore, even though that you might select US dollars, you still need to see, because some points of the journey will have AD as a reference point, let's say. Can I link an international bank account? Yes, you can. You can. So if you're talking about the proof of address that I mentioned, you can't get at the moment. We might be able to do that later as we expand internationally. But the ways to fund, just to recap, the ways to fund your stake wallet, this is a wallet that we keep. They are, you can transfer wireless money, which is, to be honest, probably the most easy way to transfer as money, especially big quantities, because you do get a receipt from your bank and you can see what's going on. We have also a facility where you can use your debit card. What we've been working actually this month, we are very close to release, but without promising a date. We've been working on Apple Pay and Google Pay. Because we believe that creates a very hassle-free and easy journey for our mobile users, but also for the web users, because you can also use those technologies in web. But for mobile, definitely, I think for those that have utilized Google Pay or Apple Pay, it's very easy to transact. And when it takes into account that you at some point you're gonna need to withdraw money from our platform. Bank is our preferred method. We can transfer to any bank in the world. You just need to add your bank, and we will act accordingly. If I can share, yeah, so I already shared the roadmap that's coming up. On the roadmap, probably there's more to be said, but this is a very high-level roadmap. If you do feel you need to get more information, we are very transparent in what we are focusing on. Either me or Finn can provide more clarity over email or over a closed group. Yeah, so we are available to do that. Maybe more questions. Yeah, the projected number is the 30% growth for all the properties. The magic number comes from. So it's an assumption. This is why we mentioned in the page that is an assumption. So it's basically based on historics as well. But we allow the user to have different assumptions. And like any investor, you need to have some assumptions to go into an investment proposition. Our 30% is where we expect the property to go. In the Dubai, maybe we'll have different assumptions based on different markets and maybe in different neighborhoods. And this is something that we want to be more precise as we can. But yeah, that's at the moment where it sits, and you as an investor, you are flexible to change that and to see if that opportunity still makes sense to you or not. So yeah, so I think this, again, just a quick question that has been answered, but again, to everyone, how do we charge annual admin fee? This gets deducted from the rental income, the gross. So when we do pay out dividends, we already pay the net amount. Okay, so that's important. When is the secondary market going to be ready? Can you share with us your tech stack and your tech team size level? Okay, this is my expertise, so I'm very happy to speak about that. I know we are getting to the end, maybe I'll finish here. So our secondary market, we are actually behind the scenes, like we actually did the secondary transaction already as a pilot, has been by 2 users that agreed to do it. And this was just to prove the point that we can do one, so we can do more. So we're now trying to understand how we can scale that operation. Behind the scenes, we have myself and another person on the team that actually has worked for a number of years on secondary markets themselves in UK. But our tech stack is we use a PHP platform called Laravel. We have great experts in this tech stack. We have an API. And in terms of what it turns to mobile, we use React Native for those that are curious. And this allows us to actually have feature parity between Android and iOS. And this is how it's so smooth. Every release that you get, the same features are available on both platforms. In terms of size, we are a product-based company, so we don't segregate product and technology. We all work in squads. And we have about 14 people only at the moment, but we're going to grow this to around 20 or 25 people over the next coming months. Technical level, I would say our level is mainly senior to expert level. And at the moment, we have about half of the team that is remote. Some of them are in Europe. Some of them are more towards Eastern Europe. But there's enough overlap with the headquarters, which is Dubai, to ensure that the team can operate. They can operate in a smooth way. Just to complement the team information, just so you see what kind of team is behind, and I'll close here. We have not only product, we have data, we have people to operate infrastructure, we have product managers that interview users and understand what we need to build next. We have amazing designers that bring this really good experience to us. So it's a whole team that is going in the same direction. And this team is, of course, very coordinated with all the divisions across the business: sales, marketing, operations. And the whole team is very passionate about bringing the best unique experience to you as users. So yeah, we are very excited with our roadmap, with our plans to grow and to really, let's say, conquer the world. With that, I think that's all I can answer for now. I think we get into a closing. Thanks to you for all the time that to listen out to me talking for 1 hour. It's not easy, but thanks for the time, and I hope you find it insightful and enjoyable. And if you have any questions, again, I'll just put my email on the screen. Ricardo@getstake.com, and I'll close here saying goodbye to everyone and thanks for attending, and keep checking us out. Bye. I'll close here.